Alright guys, James at RampantLionReviews again for you today. For this one, we are going to do another out and about video for you. So I'm still in Poland, this time we're in Toruń, and we're going to have a little look at this place behind me, Jan Olbracht. So this should be quite nice. We've got my good friend, Hugh, the beer kid, joining us as well. Hugh's been here 5, 6 times, something, I don't know.
Here?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been a couple of times.
A couple of times, yeah. So this will be quite nice. This is one of the Polish breweries I've actually tried on the channel before, so it should be pretty cool. Catch you guys inside. We'll do as we always do. We'll go in, we'll have a little look around. We might try some food. We're pretty full after the milk bar.
Yeah,
but
I've had my full.
Yeah, I think we'll have a few beers, let you look at the menu and all this. Catch you guys in just a second. So yeah guys, you can see when you walk in, this place is really cool. Some kind of barrels and stuff up the stairs. You've got the brew kit right next to you. This is the main bar here, showing some football at the moment, I have to say. Then you've got all these kind of like barrel things that you can sit into, which are very, very cool. We'll have a wee bit of a look at the brew kit from upstairs as well. But yeah, you can see a few of the different bottles and things, the glasses and stuff that you can buy. All pretty nice, I have to say. This is pretty cool. A few different kind of special beers and things in here as well, which look nice. But yeah, Hugh and I are sitting up here. It's pretty cool. There's another little bit through there, so I might have to go and just have a wee look at that later. But yeah, there's Hugh chilling. And there you've got the top of the brew kit as well, and a nice little overview of the bar. So yeah, nice place. You got us some beers in yet, Hugh?
Yes.
Oh, we did.
I've got the pills on order.
All right. So you'll see the pills review in a minute. All right, guys. Well, time for tasting number one then here at Browar Jan Olbracht. And we'll only be doing a couple here because it seems they've only got 2 or 3 of their own beers. So yeah, we're going to start off in a place that is always good to start off with. So this one is the Pilsner. It comes in at 5.2% ABV, and yeah, we have a good idea about this one. So it's been a good while since I've had a Jan Olbracht beer, but this should be quite nice. You can't go wrong starting with a Pilsner or like a light lager, but there you can see Jan Olbracht himself on the front of the glass there, which is quite nice. This is a 0.3 litre, incidentally. This is going to be quite interesting to drink out of. One of the taller glasses I've had. Taller and skinnier glasses I've had in recent times. Anyway, as you can see, this beer's poured pretty much as you would expect. A lovely kind of pale golden straw colour. A little bit of natural haze to it. When the beer arrived, it had about a half finger of a frothy, I would say, perfect white head. It has faded away to be a kind of thinner, just thin foamy layer now, and there's a bit of a ring around the edge of the glass, but yeah, it looks good. It does look good, this one. Not too much in the way of visible carbonation, but yeah, nothing really wrong with that. You can see 1 or 2 bubbles just creeping up there. Let's have a wee look at the nose and see what this one has in store for us. Oh yeah. Straight away, I would say that this one actually smells a little bit more like a Helles lager. It has got a wee bit of a more kind of, yeah, it does have a little bit more of that kind of smoothness to it rather than the kind of crispness and dryness. But that's interesting. As we've found so far in Poland, some of these pilsners that you get, some of them can be very clean and light and crisp and German, whereas quite a few of them can be more kind of smooth and creamy and almost Czech. Sometimes they're somewhere in the middle as well. But yeah, this one for me smells more like a kind of Munich Helles or something. But yeah, backbone of the beer, lovely little bit of kind of fresh white bready bread crust. Soft white bread in there as you'd expect. A little bit of cracker, a little bit of Pilsner malty dryness too. But yeah, the way it goes together I think is quite nice in that sense. You get a wee bit, as I say, you get a wee bit of that Pilsner malty dryness in the top of the nose. You've got a little touch of kind of McVitie's digestive biscuit in there as well. But yeah, I think it's quite nice. It's pretty straightforward, to be honest with you, but like I say, if I was to smell this blind, I probably would think this was Munich Helles. I have no idea what just went bang there, but something pretty big just went bang. Yeah, something just went bang and shook it shook the whole kind of platform thing that we're sitting on there. Anyway, that was a bit strange, but there you go. The excitement of filming beer reviews, eh? But yeah, hoppy side of things then. A little bit of light earthiness in there, a little bit of kind of herbal character, as you'd expect. Then a little bit of floral note, a little bit of grassiness. Overall, the green component in this beer is actually very, very smooth. I get a little touch more herbal character out of this one than I have some of the other Pilsners we've had, but nothing wrong with that at all. Fruity side of things, kind of standard here. There's a little bit of an oily gooseberry for me, a little bit of sultana, you know, dry white green grape, maybe a little touch of apricot and a little bit of pear. But yeah, all of these are things that we have seen in Pilsner beers before. But yeah, that's it again. I really wonder what that was. I have no idea. There we go. Somebody maybe fell down the stairs, I don't know. Didn't hear any screams, so that's always a good sign. But yeah, so I think that's everything we need to say about the aroma for this one. Let's have a taste of it and see how we go. Sláinte, skål, cheers, na zdrowie. That's pretty nice actually. I think that's a pretty solid Pilsner. It certainly does, when you first taste it, it gives you more of that, the kind of dryness and crispness that you expect of a Pilsner lager beer. This one for me, yeah, definitely a little bit more kind of German and things, I have to say, for sure. Yeah, that is good. I do like this one, so it gets a thumbs up from me. Anyway, let's break this down and describe it for you. Middle of your palate, you get a little bit of a more kind of fresh white bready bread crust base. This is what we've seen. You've got a little bit of Jacob's cream cracker above that as well, which I think is pretty good. You've also got a little bit of, I do get a little touch of woodiness out of this one into the aftertaste, but yeah, bread crust, little bit of, as I say, bread crust, a little bit of cracker, a little bit of, as we say, a little touch of kind of just softer white bread in there as well. Then above that, in the dead centre of your palate, you get a little touch of a more kind of biscuity character coming out of this one. You've got that more concentrated biscuit in the middle, then a bit more of a crisp, dry McVitie's digestive further out to the sides of your palate, and at the back of that middle third of your palate, you get a wee bit more of the Pilsner malty dryness. At the back, on the back third of your palate, I'd say it's very similar. The bread crust is there, but it's a little bit drier. You've got more cracker, which is again drier. Fluffy white bread in there. Then the layer, of course, is taller and more airy. Then the dry Pilsner malt sits on top of that. There's a little touch of a yeasty thing sitting above there. Maybe a teeny tiny little bit of honeycomb, but a more woody farmhousey type bread. But yeah, back third of the palate, the flavour is taller. As you come further forward into the middle, it condenses down a little bit. I wonder if that's kegs. It must be putting
must
kegs,
be someone, yeah,
kegs
chucking
down
kegs around.
Yeah, kegs down in the cellar or something like that. That's what it could be. But yeah, anyway, hoppy side of the beer then. Yeah. So, back corners of the palate, you've got a nice little bit of earthiness in there. You've got a little touch of a herbal quality as well. And as you push further forward, you get a wee bit more of a floral aromatic sort of thing. It has got a little touch of spice to it actually. This beer's a bit more spicy and zesty in its green component than the aroma would have you believe. Round the front curve of the tongue though, it's definitely lighter and grassy, and the grassy character is just that little touch wetter for me. But yeah, green component of this one goes together quite well. The front third of your palate then, base again, you've got a little bit of bread crust, a smooth white bread in there, then you've got the little bits of fruity character just sitting above that. So yeah, the fruity side of the beer for me is kind of what I expected. There's a little bit of sultana in there at the back of that front third of your palate. As you come further forward, maybe a little touch of apricot, but you've also got an oily pear sitting on top of that. And yeah, you've got a little bit of gooseberry, I think, further forward, and you've got a bit more of a kind of lemon limey type quality to this one too. So it's this is pretty interesting Pilsner in this sense. It definitely gets crisper, more bitter and drier the further into the aftertaste that you go with it. But I like this. I think this is pretty solid actually. So, with the mouthfeel then, for me, this one, top end light bodied, carbonation has a bit of crispness, it's quite a smooth Pilsner at the same time. You've also got a nice touch of, you've got a nice touch of kind of just bitterness to this one. I'd say this is maybe about a 30 IBU Pilsner, this beer, and it does give you a wee bit of dryness as well. Also, like we say, dry, smooth, little touch sweet, and you've got the nice kind of oily, fruity characters with this one. But yeah, I think a fairly solid Pils actually. Hugh drank this one as well. What do you think, Hugh?
Yeah, decent, good quality.
solid, eh?
Yeah, just a solid, nice, crisp pilsner. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been good. So that's the end of review number 1 here. We're definitely going to do a second one. I think that might be it, but we'll see. You never know. I think 2 reviews here will be that. But yeah, been quite an eventful review this one. We've got the love songs playing for Hugh and I because Hugh's fabulous. And we've also had some little mini earthquakes in this one. So but I hope you enjoyed it anyway. Catch you guys in a second. So yeah guys, just another wee quick look at that lovely old brew kit there and these barrels and down to the bar. It's pretty awesome. Alright guys, well Hugh and I actually aren't going to eat here today because we filled ourselves up on milk bar food, which was actually very nice, but I'll let you have a little look at the menu here at Browar Jan Olbracht, Browar Staromiejski. So that of course means brewer of the old town, apparently, if I'm remembering Hugh's Polish lesson correctly.
Staromiejski, Old Town.
Old Town, there we go. So yeah, some cold starters here. Remember when we look at the prices of these, 5 zlotys is about €1. So divide by 5 and that should give you a good price reference. But yeah, beefsteak tartare, beer bread with lard, bread with bean lard, could be quite interesting. A platter of cheese. Then yeah, you've got some hot starters in there, plums and bacon. Never seen anything like that. French fries with aioli sauce and bacon, sweet potato fries, barbecue wings, prawns in wine and butter sauce, starters mix, a few different soups. The Jurek rye soup could be quite an interesting one. I think that's the one that's usually in the kind of bread and you take the lid off, isn't it? Usually.
It depends where you are, but yeah, it can come in a bread roll.
Yeah, it's interesting.
But it's like it's slightly lemony. It's really nice. It's my favourite probably soup, Jurek.
Oh yeah, Jurek. I'm pretty sure I've had that. It's pretty nice. Chicken soup there as well. The main courses. There's a few interesting things here. Chicken fillet with smoked cheese, pork knuckle. Hugh was saying that pretty much any brewery in Poland will do a pork knuckle of some sort. Beef tenderloin. Dumplings with goose meat. Goose and duck are actually quite popular in Poland, which I didn't realise. Rib with plum barbecue sauce, spaghetti with pork tenderloin and mushrooms, spinach gnocchi, wild boar stew with bulgur. That sounds quite interesting, I have to say. Salmon on lemon risotto. So yeah, you're looking between about €8 to €10 for a main course, which isn't bad, of course. The only one that's a bit more expensive is the beef tenderloin. But yeah. Up here you've got the beers, so for a half litre it's about 14 zlotys or so. So we had the Pilsner, the Toruń cream, which is the wheat beer, the gingerbread beer, which is of course Hugh's favourite. He absolutely adores this beer.
Oh, it's horrible.
He doesn't like that one.
It's disgusting. No.
Hugh doesn't like that one.
The fact we haven't had it today.
Yeah, I took Hugh's recommendation on that one. I'm not a great fan of spiced beers, I have to say, but this Toruń is famous for its gingerbread. You will get some very good gingerbread here, but gingerbread and beer are not for us. Definitely not for us.
No.
But yeah, the tasting set as well. 4 times 125 mils of each beer for 21 zlotys. That's all right. That's about €4. It's not bad.
Special beer we had as well, the IPA.
Oh yeah, we had the special beer, which was the Polish Pale Ale. Yeah.
Aye.
Yep. Some royal sandwiches and burgers here. Time for the goose. As I say, pulled goose meat would be quite interesting to try.
I'd eat that,
yeah, I would. We're just too full to try it. Beetroot veggie burger, fish burger, beef burger, royal variant, and pork taste. So that's the royal variant one is beef. Down here you've got some salad, Caesar chicken salad, and a few desserts as well. Tart with white chocolate and fruit, mascarpone, puff with chocolate cream and raspberries. On the other side of the menu, this looks as if it's pizzas and things here. So they've got some white pizzas that you can see. You're talking about €6 to €7 for a pizza.
That's expensive for a pizza in Poland.
In Poland, yeah, that is a little bit pricey for a pizza. But yeah, you've got some red pizzas over here as well. Down here you've got some other warmers there, some mulled red wine and things. Oh, we missed the Olbracht Pinsa. So yeah, what's the Pinsa?
Where?
This thing here, Olbracht Pinsa. It's probably some sort of like sandwich, kind of sandwich piece
Yeah,
or a roll
it
or
looks
something.
like a roll or something. Eh?
Yeah, this will probably be like some kind of roll. We should have asked about that actually, but anyway. Some beer cocktails down here, a wheat mojito. Well, that was the one that we thought sounded quite interesting. Gingerbread diesel as well, that would be Hugh's favourite. So yeah, we've got some alcohols down here. Amundsen vodka. I didn't know Amundsen were doing vodka actually, if that's the same company. But yeah, a few things here. Then yeah, you've got a few other kind of non-alcoholic drinks and stuff like that. But yeah, that's a little look at the menu for you here at Browar Jan Olbracht. So that's that. Alright guys, well, time for tasting number 2 then here at Browar Jan Olbracht. So yeah, Hugh, do you want to introduce this beer?
So this is, well, in English it would be Toruń Cream Ale, Toruń Śmietana in Polish. Cream of Poland, so cream of Toruń, sorry. So it's a wheat beer basically.
Yeah.
With potentially some lactose in, I'm not sure. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't.
Doesn't it just says pszeniczny?
Yeah, so just a
wheat beer.
Just a wheat beer.
Basically a Hefeweizen, if you like. So yeah, no, so it should be quite good. So 5% ABV this one. Looks pretty much as you would expect from a Hefeweizen, but it does look a little bit sort of New England IPA-ish as well, this one, isn't it?
Yeah.
I have to say that. It does
nice colour.
certainly look like a New England Pale Ale or something like that. But yeah, you can see when this beer poured, it was about a half-finger frothy white head.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's faded away to just be a thin foamy layer. Now, I would say perfect white, or would you say cream? What do you think?
Slightly off.
Yeah, slightly
Slightly off-white,
slightly
yeah.
cream coloured, yeah. Sort of mango juice colour, I think, is fair.
Yeah, big pulpy boy, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it looks nice. So, yeah, remember, colour of your beer is due to the type of malts that you use. Length of wort vial can change that a little bit too. Adjuncts and barrel aging as well. But yeah, with a Hefeweizen, it's all about the type of malts used. The haze is down to the presence of the wheat. Usually about 40% wheat in the malt base of a Hefeweizen, 60% barley. But yeah, looks the part. Not too much visible carbonation. Let's have a wee look at the aroma then, eh? Oh, that's nice. That's lovely.
Lots of sweetness.
Oh yeah, that's a very, very smooth Weizen. Very, very smooth. What's your first thought?
Initially very sweet, bit of mango maybe. Slight sort of, looks like a yogurty, a touch of yogurty sourness for me, you know, like what's that yogurt you have when you're
Munch
a baby?
Munch.
Munch,
Munch
yeah,
Munch,
or
yeah.
Petit Filou or something like that.
Yeah. Yes, it's like the apricot munch
Yeah,
Munch, isn't it?
yeah.
The yellow one. Yeah, for me, this beer, you get a little bit of the bread crust, but this is a lot more like, fluffy, fresh white bread. You can smell the wheat densifying it out. It's got a little bit of bitiness at the back of the nose too. I can definitely see what Hugh's saying about the kind of yogurty type that this beer has. Good little bit of clove in this one.
Some spice, yeah.
Yeah, definitely a little bit of that. It has got a wee bit of the bubble gummy candy sort of thing. Maybe teeny little bit of like Werther's Original, but more bubble gummy and clovey, I would say. And yeah, from the yeast as well. Like what fruit did you say? You thought,
Bit of mango maybe.
Yeah, I can see that. I think that like a sort of apricot. It has got a bit of a banana, apricot-y banana type thing. Yeah, like you say, that munch bunch apricot yogurt is quite a good descriptor of this one. I often get that more from the kind of modern fruity sours. I tend to get that from them.
This has got a bit of a lactic kind of character
It
to
does,
it.
yeah, it really does. I think that covers the malty kind of yeasty side of things. I mean, it's got a little bit of cracker to it the more you smell of it, but yeah. Hoppy side of things, I mean, for me, green component, a little bit of smooth earthiness, teeny bit of herbal character, but this is actually quite floral, this one, I think. It has got a good little bit of floral and zesty grassy note to it. So this is quite an interesting one for me, a little bit more of it's got a little bit of a bigger green component to it, but at the same time it's one of the smoother Hefeweizens I think we've had.
A little bit resiny, isn't it?
Yeah. So yeah, for me, a little bit more floral, a little bit more grassy, but smooth earthiness and herbal character. What do you think about the other fruits from the hops in this one?
Mango, passion fruit, apricot, little touch of citrus, but not sort of massively so.
Yeah, definitely. A little bit of mango, a little bit of apricot for sure. I do get a wee bit of that sultana peary type thing out of it still,
maybe, yeah.
and there's a wee touch of that kind of lemon limey type character as well at the front of the nose with the grassy side of things. But aroma wise, this is really nice. I have to say this is maybe my favourite Weizen aroma that we've had out of the wheat beers so far.
Yeah.
So I think we should dig into this one and see what it's all about. So sláinte, skål, cheers, na zdrowie.
Na zdrowie.
Oh, that's quite different to what you expect in the flavour.
Smell, yeah.
This one is a lot lighter and a lot more. It gives you the aftertaste. You get what you expect, but in the beginning, it's a very, very, very light beer. I have to say this one.
I'm getting some vanilla almost.
Oh yeah,
Vanilla or honey.
that vanilla apricot-y munch bunch yogurt type thing, definitely.
Yeah. And then it peters out and becomes a bit more clovey and a typical Hefeweizen, yeah. Yeah, it's not bad.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, the first impression is this is a very wet Hefeweizen.
Yes.
Very, very wet.
Next to no
Hefeweizen.
dryness in this at all.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, middle third of the palate for me. There's quite a bit of bread crust to this, especially in the aftertaste. It has got a wee bit of woodiness to it further forward in that middle third of the palate. Little tiny touch of cracker bit, and I actually get some wholemeal brown bread out of this one.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, I get some of that. The white bread sits above that. Then you get the more dense kind of wheaty character out of the beer. It's not as bubblegummy as I thought it was going to be from the aroma either.
No, it's quite neutral in terms of the whole sort of yeasty esters you expect from a Hefeweizen. Yeah, it's quite sweet and it's lacking that sort of that dryness that you expect for the style, really.
Yeah. I say so. I mean, you get a little tiny bit of bubblegum in the middle of the palate, not a lot. Then further back on that middle third of your palate, it's more about the you do get a little bit more of the clovey spice, I think. And on the back third of the palate, the layers are the same. The bread crust, the cracker, a thick, a bit of wholemeal brown bread there. That's a bit taller and more airy. Thicker white bread. You get a bit of the wheat and the kind of bitiness of the wheat, I think. Then
I think this would be more accessible for people who don't like that really heavy phenolic character that you get with a lot of wheat beers. That really strong clove and banana.
Yeah.
This is fairly easygoing and neutral.
Yeah, I think that's it. It's a good kind of gateway Hefeweizen in this one. Maybe that's maybe a good way to put. That's a good way to put it, actually, I would say. But yeah, back third of the palate, as we say, flavour is taller as you come further forward. It just condenses down a little bit, and yeah. Hoppy side of things, then. What do you think on for the green component?
Touch of resin, touch of citrus. A little bit of astringency.
I mean, for me, yeah, it's quite. There's a bit of earthiness, a bit of herbal character there, but yeah, for me, it's like a very wet, freshly cut grass.
Yeah, a bit of a grassy.
And it has got that wee bit of citrusy, zesty note that you're saying. Yeah. Wee bit of floral character in the front corners of the palate too, but yeah, I mean, for me, this is quite. Like I say, this is a good sort of gateway Hefeweizen. So front third of your palate then, for me the border region between front third and middle third of your palate, a little bit of bready build up in there, you get a wee bit of the banana apricot-y thing from the yeast, I think. It's not quite as yogurty as I thought we were going to get from the aroma. That's kind of interesting. But on the front third of your palate, the more kind of hoppy side of the fruits, what do you get there?
Maybe a bit of peach as well as
Oh, it's got peach is a little bit sharper for me. Yes, I get that. Yeah, I think I get a little bit of a little bit of the sultana and peary thing further back, and then as you come further forward, I get more of the apricot-y, papaya type thing, and maybe just a wee bit of a little bit of a kind of how do you say, just a little bit of a more kind of lemony, limey, zesty character behind the front tip of the tongue. But yeah, interesting. I think, like you were saying earlier, this is quite a good kind of entry.
I think it would go well with food as well, with something typically Polish and greasy and heavy. It would cut through that richness.
Yeah, like some pierogi or something like that.
Yeah.
would really go well with that. Yeah, I think that is as I say, it's a nice, just drinkable Hefeweizen in this one, or Pszeniczny. I need to start using the Polish word.
Pszeniczny.
Pszeniczny. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, as you say, it's a very difficult language.
I've been here 2 years and I don't know a single word, basically. Proszę dużo piwo. I can ask for a large beer and that's it.
Yeah, I can say like piwo, Nastrovie, Pszeniczny or whatever. No, I still can't say it.
No.
But yeah, round off with the mouthfeel of this one then. For me, this is bottom end to mid-bodied, top end to light-bodied, I think.
Yeah, nice and smooth carbonation.
Oh yeah, definitely. For me, this is quite a wet. This is one of the wetter Weizens I had. Like you said at the start, there's not so much dryness in this one. No. The malt base has a wee bit of graininess, a bit of smoothness, and a tiny little bit of sweetness. The yeasty characters also work there as well. Then you've got the wetter, fruity side of things. Yeah. I think you put that quite nicely when you're saying this is quite a good beer to get yourself into Hefeweizens, like a kind of a gateway beer. So yeah, I think that's everything we need to say about that one. Anything else?
No.
Quite happy. So yeah, guys, that is probably likely to be our last tasting here at Jan Olbracht. You never know, but yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. This was the Toruń cream. What was the Polish name?
Śmietana.
Toruń Śmietana from Browar Jan Olbracht, not Olbracht.
Albrecht.
Yeah, Jan Olbracht. Jan Olbracht. In Toruń, here in Poland. Catch you guys in a second. So yeah, guys, it turns out when you go down the stairs to use the little boys or little girls' room, they actually have another bar down here, which obviously opens up when it's a little bit more busy. But you can see it's quite nice here as well. Proper just old school stuff. But they've got the tap list down here, which we can maybe have a little bit of a better look at than upstairs. So mainly guest beers here actually. So yeah, an IPA from Brokriacja, a Polish IPA from Czarna Owka, the Charlotte Apple Pile from Nepomucen, Toruń from Nepomucen, that looks like it's some kind of tropical IPA, American Beauty, American Blonde from Trey Kumpley. They've also got one from Staromiejski, if I've pronounced that correctly, a double fruited imperial sour, Rolling Jack Ale, which looks, I'm not sure what that is, some kind of IPA as well. And then they've got the Sweet Cow Milk Stout from Elbrover. I think I had that a good few years ago actually. How to say it though? Another nice little area down here as well in the basement, so that's pretty cool. So yeah guys, it turns out there's actually like 3 floors to this place. So I'm up on the 3rd floor just now, and they've got this room in here which is really very cool. So you can see a bit about Jan Olbracht up on the wall there, all the mirrors and things. This is really nice. And if you come out here, they've got the fancy old chair, the grand piano, and you come downstairs and they've got another lovely room here. So you've got this little bit which is cool, you can see the bar, and then through here you've got this. So this is all very cool. Lots of portraits and stuff, which is very nice. Lovely old room. So yeah, that's a little quick walk around of the upstairs here at Browar Jan Olbracht. Let's go back down. Alright guys, well, we actually ended up deciding to do a 3rd tasting because it turns out that the special beer they have here today is a pale ale brewed with Polish hops. So this is the Lubelski hop that's in here. It's 4% alpha acid. It's related very closely to the Czech Sats hop, or Žatec as they call it. So it's kind of a noble variety. So this we thought would be really quite interesting.
Yeah.
So yeah, not often you can try a Polish hopped pale ale, so why not? So yeah, we don't actually know what percentage ABV this beer is, but
I would hazard a guess to say it's about 5-ish.
Yeah, probably it's about 5% ABV. But yeah, as you can see, it looks like a New England pale ale, this one. When it poured, a bit over a finger of a frothy kind of cream-coloured head.
Got half a fingers.
Yeah, we still got a wee bit of head left on this one. But yeah, you can see colour-wise, this is actually very similar to the the Pszeniczne that we had, the wheat beer. Probably butchering that pronunciation still, but yeah, that's probably going to be a joke between us now. But yeah, this one definitely looks like a New England Pale Ale, sort of mango juice colour. This one, not too much in the way of visible carbonation. I'm guessing from the appearance of this one, it probably contains oats and wheat, and that'll be what's giving it the kind of hazy character. So yeah, should be nice. But that's everything I think we need to say about the appearance, eh?
Yeah.
Let's look at the aroma, see what we get. Oh yeah, New England Pale Ale. New England Pale Ale right away.
There's no astringency there at all, is there?
Yeah. Yeah, that's straight up New England Pale Ale.
Which is rare in a brew pub like this in Poland.
Yes,
Usually they're pretty old school West Coast styles.
Yeah, Jan Olbracht is pretty. These guys are one of the first kind of sort of craft brewers in Poland, weren't they? So yeah, I mean, this is it smells nice. I have to say that. Hugh's more a fan of the West Coasters. I am as well, actually. We have to say this. But you know, as I say, trying a Polish hop. Pale Ale, why not?
Very different,
something different, yeah. So, aroma-wise then, for me, as we usually get, fresh white bread crust. We've got a little bit of, lots of white bread for me, definitely.
Bread, and then for me it's a little bit peppery.
Oh yeah. I think that's probably going to be from the hops.
Yeah,
probably. But I definitely see what you mean in that. It has got a little bit of that peppery dryness. But yeah, for me, the wheat in this one is giving it there's a little bit of bitiness in the back of the nose from the wheat. You've also got, I can smell a bit of the creaminess of the oats in this one, but for me, in terms of a pale ale, this one's a bit more barley malt and wheat leaning, I think. It's got a wee touch of like biscuit or Werther's Original type thing to it, but not too much. This is not a sweet beer.
No,
It's not a sweet beer.
Hopefully not, because I'm more of a bitter beer fan.
Yeah, but definitely a little bit of cracker, a little bit of woody character to it as well, but not too much. Green component then, what do you think about the green side of it?
Peppery.
Yeah, I see exactly what you mean with that. Definitely has a little bit of that peppery, sort of floral, spicy thing, yeah.
Sort of sage almost.
For me, yeah, a little bit earthy, a little bit herbal. As you were saying, you've got a little bit of for me, the kind of peppery sort of spicy character is with the floral side of things, and it kind of makes sense if Lubelska. I've seen it called both. I'm not, because ska is feminine in Polish and ski is male.
Yes
kinda.
and no.
Yeah,
it depends what noun case you're using.
Yeah.
It's mad.
It's mad, yeah. Polish is mad. We've come to that conclusion, but yeah, it's Lubelski, Lubelska, whatever you're going to call it. It's apparently more related to Czech Sats, and like I said, the Czech Sats, Jatets, whatever we call it, is a little bit more spicy than the German Hallertau and Tettnanger hops, at least in my opinion. But yeah, you can smell a bit of the spiciness too. You've got a nice little bit of grassiness too. So a nice little bit of grassiness. What do you think about the fruit in this one?
Citrus, lemon, lime.
Lemon, lime, definitely, yeah. There's maybe a wee bit of like stronger passion fruit behind there.
Yeah, maybe. A bit of tropical fruit, yeah.
Yeah, a little bit of a mango apricot type thing underneath too. So yeah, but I think this one leans a bit more toward that kind of lemon, limey citrus, yeah, which is kind of what you'd expect from a sort of noble type hop, I guess we could say. Lubelski is probably the most well known of the Polish hops. They're not, as far as I know, and correct me in the comment section if I'm wrong, guys, Poland isn't really experimenting with new high alpha acid varieties in the way that Germany is with, like, you know, Hallertau Blanc and Mandarin de Bavaria and all this stuff. I don't think that's really happening in Poland quite yet. I'm surprised.
Well, I think they're all just bittering hops for lager, really.
Yeah, I mean, that is when you think about how good the American style craft beers are in Poland, it's actually a bit surprising, to be honest with you, at least from my perspective. But yeah, I think we've covered the aroma. We'll get stuck into this one. So yeah, this one, we're here incidentally in February of 2023. This is the special beer. This is the 19th or 20th today, I forget. Yeah, 19th, 20th of February. This is the special beer they had, a pale ale with Polish hops. Let's get stuck into this one. Nastrovia. Oh, that's a really big, citrusy, grassy New England ale, isn't it?
Yeah, it's got more bitterness than you'd expect for a New England maybe. Well, the New Englands back home, which are a bit more sugary. This has a good level of bitterness to it.
I get quite a lot of like watermelon out of this actually. That's the first thing. It's quite citrusy, but at the same time you get a good little bit of like watermelon melon out of this.
Melon,
Mint maybe. You know the thing you're saying about sage. Just
sage, sage, mint, very herbal. A good amount of citrus as well.
Yeah, quite a wet beer. This one. There must be something to do with the type of yeast they're using. They've maybe got house yeasts, or could be the water profile as well.
Could be the yeast just isn't attenuating down to a high level. Yeah.
It's interesting. But yeah, let's go through the beer then, as we always do. Middle of your palate. Definitely a little touch of bread crust. They're not too much in this one, I don't think. There's a wee bit of the drier cracker, but again, not too much. Little touch of woodiness into the aftertaste. Quite a crisp layer of like fresh white bread for me, but then you get more of the dense wheat on top of that.
Yeah.
And the wheat is still quite smooth, but it has a wee bit of like zippiness to it.
Raininess.
And then you've got the oats in this one, and the oats for me are quite creamy. Remember, in these sort of New England pale ales, the oats I think are always a good indicator of how old your beer is. The creamier they taste, the fresher the beer is, the drier they taste, the older it is. That's at least something I've just noticed from experience doing these reviews. But yeah, I think the malty side of this beer is really nice. I don't get so much. There's a teeny little bit of like biscuit sweetness in there or something, but
a touch, but not to the extent where it's cloying or pleasantly sweet.
Yeah, definitely not. I mean, this one's quite more like smooth, old school New England pale, definitely. Yeah.
But that's something I've noticed living here. The New Englands over here have a far greater IBU than the New Englands you find back in England.
Yeah, it's interesting, this one. But remember, the main difference between the pale ale and the IPA is the hop to malt ratio. It's like a family of beers. It's a technical brewing difference. A session IPA uses the IPA ratio, but they just put less malt in, and that's the technical difference between a session IPA and a pale ale. But yeah, I think that's the middle third of the palate. Back third of the palate is pretty similar. The bread crust, the little bit of cracker. Of course, it's a bit drier. White bready layer is a bit taller for me. You get a bit more wheaty bitiness, then a wee bit of the yeasty, farmhousey bready character on top of that. Yeah, back third of the palate, the flavour's taller, condenses down as you come further forward, as it usually does. But yeah, now we move on to the hoppy side of things, which is of course the focus with this beer. So, what do you make of the green component in this one then?
Yeah, it's as I say, it's big herbal wafts of herbal character, and some fresh lemon, maybe a bit of orange rind or something. And then,
I can see that, yeah.
It's quite impressive for a noble hop river.
Yeah.
It's definitely more herbal and grassy than you find in the New World hops. No, it's perfect for me. I love the piney, resiny, grassy herbal notes that are there.
Yeah, I mean, for me, this one, back corners of the palate, definitely earthy as you come further forward. For me, it's quite a bright floral aromaticity you get out of this one. And that's the thing with New England IPAs. Quite often what they do is they use late edition and dry hopping, which gives you more of a bright green component. It's usually the early edition hops that give you that one, but I think this one is using all three. I think there's a bit of early edition hop in this, and that's why it kind of resonates as much as it does. So yeah, I don't find it so much piney. As I say, it's got quite a more deep, dank floral note to it.
Yeah, maybe piney is the word, but definitely that earthy sort of peppery note.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, round the front curve of the palate, again quite wet and grassy, but still quite zesty. I get quite a lot. I can see exactly what you're coming from with the kind of skin, the orange rind. Yeah, so for me, it's got a little bit. It's maybe like a bit of orange and lime kind of skin. I'm getting a bit more of that. It's a wee bit more pungent than orange for me. I see exactly what you mean. But yeah, the front curve of your palate, grassy and wetter, I would say. I think that's a good way to describe it. So yeah, fruity side of the beer, we've covered a bit with the. I got a little bit of melon out of this one, lemon and kind of orange peel. Rind is the same as peel, is it?
Yes.
Yeah, mixing up our English and getting confused by Polish obviously as well. Other than that, maybe a little touch of apricot.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a little bit of something drier and tropical behind it, but this is a very citrus forward beer, definitely. Yeah. Anything else you want to say about the flavour of this one?
No, it's spot on.
Yeah.
Could drink that all day, mate.
Quite interesting beer. This one very easy to drink. This probably about 5% ABV. Mouthfeel then. Yeah.
Medium bodied for me. I think the oat's splendid, you know.
This is right in the middle of the spectrum for me. Smooth carbonation, but I think it does still show you a good little bit of wetness like we got in the other beers. I think that's probably the water profile doing that. I think it's a fairly standard sort of 30-ish IBU. This one potentially a wee bit more.
Yeah.
Could be 40. I think it's more. I think it's probably 30 and it's just very bright and floral.
30 to mid-30s,
Yeah. Malt, like we said, a little bit of dryness, wee bit of smoothness, wee bit of creaminess. Not really a sweetness to this one. You tend to get the sweetness the higher up the alcohol scale you go into the IPAs, the doubles, triples, and so on. And the fruity side of the beer for me, quite wet but very citrusy leaning. Yeah. This is a nice beer though, I have to say I did enjoy this one. Anything else you want to say about this one, Hugh? No? So I think that's definitely our last tasting here though, this one. So yeah, we'll leave it at that. This was the special beer for February 2023, a paleo with Lubelskie hops from here in Poland. So yeah guys, that's everything for the moment. Catch you guys in a second with our final thoughts outside. Slange, skål, cheers, Nostrovia. Alright guys, well that was our time at Jan Olbracht here in Toruń. We're now standing in front of the legendary Copernicus who's behind Hugh, and I've got two fabulous men in this video then I guess. Oh, very nice. But yeah, no, we had a good time, good couple of hours at Jan Olbracht. We didn't try any of the food because we were stuffed from the milk bar. In total, the 6 beers cost us 70 zlotys? 70 zlotys, so that is
good, to be honest.
That's pretty good. That's what, about 14 euros, something like that.
Yeah,
so
probably,
yeah, it's not bad at all. The Pils was good, the Hefeweizen was good, and the Paleo. They were all solid beers actually.
The Pale Ale was my favourite, definitely.
Yeah, the only thing that was really missing was something a bit darker, but yeah, can't really complain at all. Definitely cool to visit one of the more old school craft breweries here in Poland. So yeah, I think we can leave it at that for this one. Once again, thank you to Hugh for taking part in the tasting.
No problem.
We had a really nice time, really nice venue actually. So we'll probably come back if we come back to Toruń at some stage.
You're welcome anytime.
But that's it. Yeah. So guys, this will probably be my last video with you. Unfortunately, sad face.
Yeah.
But yeah, it'd be great to have them along. I hope you guys have enjoyed these out and about videos. I might see if I can get 1 or 2 more done up in Gdansk. So keep your eyes peeled for those. Thank you for watching. Check out my social media. Follow Hugh the Beer Kid on Instagram. And yeah, check out Jan Olbracht's social media as well. See you guys in the next one. Slange, skål, cheers, Nostrovia.